250 years ago, the most powerful European empire that ever existed was moved to decree that the Indian tribes of North America were to be regarded as nations of people. They understood very clearly that while First Nations people were very welcoming to them, they didn't have a hope of going any further without the support and help and allegiance, military allegiance of these people.
Everybody has to know this stuff, because how can you stand up for something if you don't know what it is? Where is your source of strength?
We never thought of land as ownership or being able to own the land, right? It was just we were sharing the land and we were sharing the resources, and that was our understanding.
This is just a real spiritual moment for me. These are teachings that I never would have found out if I wouldn't have come here.
We have to teach our young folks and to get on with the business of protecting our rights.
I learned about the Royal Proclamation of 1763 and a little bit about other treaties and laws.
What they have tried to do with the Royal Proclamation is that they have tried to assert that they have underlying title to our territories and lands because of the Royal Proclamation. But you cannot do that because then why would they make treaties? If they had title to our land and they owned everything, then why make treaty? It doesn't make any sense.
We went from being regarded as a crucial pillar of the future of development of this country that's called Canada to now being, in subsequent years, an afterthought, regarded as a stumbling block to progress. One of the things I want to talk about is the importance of educating other Canadians as well as our own people about these things and about ways that we can make sure that all Canadians know that their country was found on these promises, and the promises are yet to be honored and to be respected.
I guess the reality of it was on the Royal Proclamation in 250 years ago. It hasn't protected our rights. And I'm happy to see a lot of the young people taking in some of these conferences. And the Bajamajic Theatre put on a little skit telling a story of our, the past and our traditions and what have you. And I think that was a very, very good production. That's a good way to learn.
See, these teachings, they come to us from lessons learned at Kikila over 18,000 years ago. The Bajamajig storytellers, we have a responsibility to tell these stories, to carry these stories, and to share these stories as far and wide as we can with our people, with our own people, and with non-Native people. And we're doing it in such a way that people can take it in.
My mom always told me, whatever you do, don't bend over towards the west! But there was this one day I was walking, and there was a flower I never saw before. So just as I bent down to go give it a smell, a great big gust of wind went right up my skirt. 9 months later, out came a Jequis.
When people are laughing, you let your guard down, and the story just enters you, right? And it becomes a part of you, and people take from the story what they need to take from the story. People don't have to remember the whole thing, right? They'll walk away from it, and everybody will have something different and remember something different about the story we shared.
The woman crying, the crying of the woman. I started bawling, and I think about it and I talk about it, and I get goosebumps all over me. It was amazing.
And I cried when that woman cried. I cried because they took that gift of questioning away from us. They think, oh, it's normal for Anishinaabe to talk to you like that. No, that's colonialism.
My name is Niga Nigijigokwe, which means woman who walks before the day. And I think that's one of the things that I have in my spirit, is being able to perceive these things that happen for our people to walk ahead and see things. And that's the gift that Anishinaabe have in this region. You know, we talk about the actions that we do today have an implication as to what happens in the 7 generations. So quinoa, we have to make a decision as to how we are going to approach that.
I'm hoping that the young folks here in the last couple of days have picked up a few things and carry on the business of where we started.
They started making this belt after the Royal Proclamation. The bigger the belt, the bigger the promise. So this is a big promise. This belt has 10,076 beads in it. And we're told it would take a woman 2 days to make one finished bead. So it took months for a team of ladies to make this belt because they knew how important this was. What's in the middle? 2 people holding hands. What does that mean? Peace? Agreement? Unity? Harmony? You're all right. Friendship? Allies? It's been shown to thousands of people of all ages. Not one person has ever not understood what this means. Stephen Harper seems to have a problem.
As an MC and as a motivational speaker, it's important for me to compel people towards taking positive action. And sometimes that positive action means getting up out of your seats and getting a little uncomfortable.
Okay, ready? Go! Go!
Clap. Name. Jump. Walk. Okay, I think I'm done playing with y'all. You're a great audience. Give yourself a big round of applause. And our next presenters come all the way from Chiging First Nation in order to host the LOL show, the Land of Lindsay show for you.
We'd like to call Jermaine Jocko from Bridge Island and Chiging First Nation, and Sarah Byers from Chiging First Nation, and Pierre DeBosky from Chiging First Nation.
Most of the time I'm outdoors fishing and hunting. I cut wood with my grandpa. We try not to cut maple because in the spring we make maple syrup. I think it was important to come to this event today because I was asked to, and I've never been to one of these conferences. I've been to one in Mississauga, but I didn't get to do anything like this. And what I learned from this event was treaties and land rights and Native people and non-Indigenous people. It got me curious, so I'm gonna dig into it some more.
What stood out for me was when the lady talked about law when she went to law school, how that when we hear law, we're supposed to think about our system as Anishinaabe people and not the Canadian system.
Me, when I think about laws, the first thing I think about is our people. What is our law? I don't think about the other side. Because to me, in my mind, they don't have a legal system. They do whatever they want and they make it up as they go along. That's the way it looks like to me. And I have studied this for more than 40 years. I see what they're doing.
If we aren't really educated about it, we just kind of move on and then we forget about it. I mean, sure, it can be in our textbooks, but it's not like we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna learn deeply into this subject right here and now. When we come to conferences, it's fun. We get to interact with other people. We get to learn different things, and it's better than reading off of a textbook and writing things down.
It takes a lot of courage to get up and stand here, not only in front of your classroom and your peers, but to stand in front of your community. So I would like everybody here to give them the best applause that you can give someone is give these young people a standing ovation, please.
I don't really like speaking in front of audiences, so I don't
really do it that much. I like speak in front of like small groups of people, like my class or something like that, but not that much. But I felt pretty good about being here. It's my second time being at a conference, so it was pretty important to me.
We have this wonderful text, a prayer, and we like to see it recitable by children in schools, recitable at occasions and meetings.
Skjodde, neve, akke, nåden, gibet wasatonan, we now do endemang, man pi shakamegang.
We're going to be getting into groups, and we're going to ask ourselves these 3 questions, because I think it's important for each and every one of us to move everything forward, to find the knowledge, and to move the issues.
Text it in there.
So I think we have to engage the young people more.
What about visiting and making more programs with the elders involved?
Be kind to Mother Earth. Pick up your garbage. And I guess encourage Chief and Council to address the real issues at hand, so be an active community member.
Practice our culture and live it. That's very important because it's slipping away from us.
Implementing our native language in our offices, homes, and everywhere else, and place our sacred items in the office and believe in the Anishinaabe way.